Hey guys, nothingwire.com, and today we have the brand new Mi-360. Now it was released in India just today, and it's one of those very rare Android phone that comes with both a touchscreen as well as a keyboard. Now it's a welcome change as far as we are concerned, because we always like variety, however niche that may be. So in this review video, we're gonna tell you what's in the box. We'll do a live unboxing here. We'll talk about the hardware of the device. It looks very cute, by the way, and by the look of it. And then we'll talk about the interface, the performance, and hopefully at last you'll be able to decide whether still a touch plus a keyboard phone is your cup of tea, and especially if you want to migrate from some other phones to Android because you've always wanted a physical keyboard and you haven't got it yet. So let's get started. Now we'll first do an unboxing, and we're gonna quickly go and cut this plastic off quickly. Yeah, I can see it's a very compact box. We like compact boxes, and it's also made of hard cardboard. Good. So that's our device. It's the white color device, and you can see the MRP here is 5,999, but of course the MOP should be slightly less. It's also let's see, the month and year of import is May, and some other marketing informations stuff here. You know, that's the model number Mi-360, and on the back side you have some quick specs. 8.89 cm, that means about 3.5 inch wide angle viewing display, and then you have HVGA capacitive touch display, of course, and then 1.3 gig dual core processor, Android Jelly Bean, 1500 mAh battery, dual SIM, both 3G. An interesting feature, you have a 3.2 MP back camera plus a 1.3 MP front camera, 4 GB ROM and 512 MB RAM, and then you also support micro SD card, and you also have these preloaded apps that comes with the device. So without further ado, let's quickly go ahead and open this box. I'm gonna cut the sticker, and then let's check out what's in the box. So as usual, on top we have the device here, and it looks gorgeous. The big enough screen to be a standalone phone itself, so 3.5 inch screen. The iPhone 4 was like 5, even was like 4 inch. So we'll come back to the device in a bit. So you have this protective sponge or whatever, and then you have your earphones right here. Yeah. Let's destroy the pack and show you how. So they are your noise cancelling in your premium type. They look very premium, silver plated audio jack. You also have your call control button here, as well as the mic, all white to match with the color of the handset. And then you also have the USB data cable here, and it's a micro USB 2.0 port on here, you see. And then you have the wall adapter USB. Yeah, you want me to tear that off as well? No problem. I see. So all white accessories, good. You also have the 1500 mAh battery here. Yeah, pretty flat, thin battery. And then you also get a pouch free, and it kind of has a very nice leather finish. Yeah. You have some manuals. That's the user manual for those of you who are not very comfortable with this kind of phone, and still this kind of a little different, a migration from the usual all touch phone. So you know, you might just want to read this a bit. And then you have your service center guide, and then your warranty card. So here your device, the Mi-360. It looks very cute. Certainly not the thinnest device in the market, but then it has a big enough screen, big enough touch screen, so that you can if you choose to operate the touch screen all by itself. But then it's mainly aimed at those who just can't get enough of their physical keyboards. So I'm gonna quickly tear this thing. Beautiful. The Mi-360 is all plastic and then glass, and it actually feels plastic, but nowhere does this phone feel cheap. And you have this nice touch here, nice silverish touch. It's also plastic, but it adds to the style. It's in this nice contours and curves. The device are thoughtful and kind of gives the device a more playful and youthful look. So on the front you have that 3.5-inch capacitive touchscreen. On top you have the earpiece, your 1.3 MP front camera, your the proximity sensor, and the notification LED light there. Here you have the touch hotkeys, yeah, those three is the home, back, and the menu key, and then a beautiful 4-row physical keyboard. Now these keys are amazing. They give damn good tactile feedback. See, you can almost hear the sound. See, really like this. Amazing feedback. And very interestingly, the numpad is more stretched towards the left, so it's very easy to reach if you're using this phone with your left hand, but then you need to just stress a bit if you're using this on the right hand. That's pretty interesting. You also have the alt key so that you can use the num keys and the symbols on top of the letters here. Also, some more important symbols like the dollar are the primary keys here. And then you have space and some other stuffs. And again, interestingly, Spice is chosen to put the mouthpiece here rather than below. The silver thing here, ring, also extends to the keyboard. It kind of reminds us of the much more expensive BlackBerry Q10. So on the left side you have pretty much nothing. Below you have the micro USB 2.0 port, the 3.5mm jack, the hole to open the back flap, your power key and the volume key. They give decent feedback. On top again pretty much nothing. Behind you have the 3.2 MP camera. We'll have to see whether it's a fixed focus or an autofocus camera during our camera demo. And then it's accompanied by an LED flash. It's very important, and we really thank Spice for giving us an LED flash at this price point. There are so many devices that do not come with this LED flash. Guys, now the LED flash is a requirement. You take picture at night, you take picture in parties, the LED flash is a must-have feature. Your Spice branding here, and then the speaker grills. Now you have this little bump in the middle that will help the sound come out even when you keep the phone on a flat surface. Now once you open the back flap, you'll see that the back flap is kind of decently sturdy, and then you have space for both the SIM, SIM1, SIM2 and the microSD card here. The layouts are described here. So your SIM1 goes in here like this vertically, then your SIM2 goes in here horizontally, and then your microSD card goes in here. So it supports up to 32 GB microSD card, and then your 1500 mAh battery goes in here, and it's actually a little hard to place, yeah, but that's about it. So you're gonna close this. You'll have to press it from multiple places to actually close the back flap, but then that helps the back flap to be secured. Yeah, so that's the Mi-360. It's certainly not the most premium device, but then for the price it's very youthful and playful looking. The Mi-360 is powered by Android 4.2.2 with a slight Spice skin on top. So you have the familiar unlock screen which supports widgets. So you can go here, there you see it's, you can add all these widgets there. Yeah. Apart from that, on the right side you also will see the camera. It takes some time before the camera launches, so that's the camera. Apart from that, also on the unlock screen you would see that you can go to Google. Now you can straight away go to camera from here, and then you can unlock the phone. So there are your home screens. Yeah. Yes, it lags just a bit thanks to the only 512 MB RAM, and this lag persists throughout the UI, but then it's not uncomfortable and annoying. You have the home screen, you can long press here to add your wallpapers, and there is something. So there are no live wallpaper, so I have downloaded one. You can download it any live wallpaper from the Google Play Store and apply them. So I have this wallpaper that I downloaded from the Play Store and have this. I just wanted to see how it takes the live wallpaper, and you can see there is no frame loss here. It's pretty smooth, even bubble burst and everything. You can also burst just by tapping them and they are smooth. So for everyday usage, the lag is not annoying, it's not significant. It lags when you do significant multitasking. And then your notification bar, you can do it with all just by tapping that, and then your quick function toggle bar. So pretty much like the stock Jelly Bean ROM, your app dock is customizable. You can also drag it onto any icon to create a folder. You can also go and drag it out and the folder will be deleted automatically. It's the menu key, system settings, you can manage your app, and the wallpapers. Long press on the home key will take you to the recent app menu. Double tapping, nothing happens. And you can also see the icons are kind of the face of them remains similar, but then Spice give that slight roundish look to all the icons. So your Play Store, let's see, the icon face is same, but then there is a kind of packet over there just around this. So that's from Spice, their own touch. So that's your main app dock there. Again, you see it's relatively smooth, a very slight lag, but that's not uncomfortable at all. Yeah, so we'll go to the system settings first to check out how it looks, and you would see typical Jelly Bean settings. Your Wi-Fi there, and then your dual SIM card management, yeah, and then your storage. So this comes with 4 GB storage. I have not installed any outside apps, so after updating all the apps, once you sign in with your Google account, you have about just over 1 GB of space available. You can also have your SD card, so that's phone, about 1 GB, and then the internal SD card, you have another 873 MB available. And I haven't inserted any SD card. So when you insert your SD card, you can of course keep your musics and photos and videos on the SD card, but for your apps, these space are sufficient unless you want to install huge games like Nova 3 or Asphalt 8 or those kinds. I would not recommend playing those games on this device as well, because it's an entry-level device. It's actually not meant to play very demanding games, but for your everyday games like, let's say, Fruit Ninja or Temple Runs or Angry Birds, and for almost all the apps, it's the space and the phone should be pretty sufficient. And then your app management, you can add this many accounts. BBM also is built in. And then your about phone, there you can see the model Mi-360 and Android 4.2.2. We don't have any official update on whether this device would be updated to KitKat. The dialer is pretty big. You can see typical Jelly Bean style dialer. You can call from both the SIMs here. See, you can also video call, and then your call logs, and then your contact. So the call quality is very good, but that has become a standard of all the smartphones these days. The reception is also good enough, both in the basement as well as inside the elevator. But then as long as our elevator started moving, we could actually keep talking until about 2 levels, but then the voice started breaking in and then the connection got cut. But usually the voices were clear on both the sides. There were no call drops and no dead air, so overall satisfactory call quality. Then I'm going to show you the USB of the device, and that's the keyboard. So you have 2 options. So the moment you start creating a message, you can either use the on-screen keyboard just like a full touch keyboard. So for example, nothing oops, nothing wired. And this continuously happens when I keep on bumping on the keep on pressing the home key here somehow. So that's, you can also go to landscape mode, which makes typing a little easier. You can also, however, use the physical keyboard, which what Spice wants you to do. Basically, that's why they made this phone, and it's very quick, and automatically the on-screen keyboard disappears. Yeah, and you can see the feedback. You can hear the sound. It's great. Yeah. All this. Hey. How are you? This is. Yeah. So that's about the keyboard. We tested the default browser and it looks pretty decent. It renders the web pages nicely, almost desktop grade. There is a slight lag while scrolling down and up, mainly due to the absence of the RAM. It supports pinching zoom in and out, which is pretty smooth. Yeah, you can also double tap. There you see. It also renders mobile friendly web pages pretty nicely. Like for example this one, nothing wired. See, it renders them very nicely, smooth. Yeah. We also did an HTML5 check and it scored 404, which is just an average, but still good enough for this price point. And then you can bookmark from there. You can also go here, you can have some settings, and there's here some general settings and other stuff. You can also save web pages for offline viewing. You can also force a desktop site. So pretty much the usual browser, nothing much to write home about. The gallery tool looks much like the stock Android Jelly Bean. You see the albums are arranged in stack. If you go inside an album, the photos and videos also will be arranged in stack. So just gonna go ahead and check one of the photos that will give us an idea about the display. You see, of course it's a TFT screen, so the reflections bound to take over. The viewing angles are only average before the display automatically changes color. There you see, especially from the top, the viewing angle is only average, but from sides here it's pretty decent. So the color reproduction is pretty good, although there is slight fuzziness, there is slight loss of detail, and it's kind of looks like that silverish color, metallic color, due to that TFT reflections. We're gonna check out a video and see how it plays. Plays pretty nice. Color reproduction is good. The blacks are not very black though, they are slightly dark, again due to the TFT screen. When it's an entry level TFT screen though, that's not unusual. But there is perfect sync between the video and audio, no lag, no frame loss whatsoever, no discoloration, no fuzziness. This metallic shine is intact. So a relatively decent display at this price point, I would say. However, the sound output via the speaker is pretty low. See, I have maximum, it's quite low. And if I keep it here, then it becomes even less. Mainly because the speakers are situated on the back side. Although there is a bump here, but then that does not help the whole sound coming up. So there is a loss of sound. Even the viewing angles only average. However, I'm relatively pleased with the display quality here, but then the speaker sound could have been better, much better. So you can go inside a single image and you can go ahead and you can edit it. So there are multiple options. You have all these filters and effects and stuff. You see all these framings, and then you can also alter the image. You can crop it, or you can straighten it. You see, crop it, rotate, straighten, or you can also mirror it. You can also have some other effects here. Yeah, and then you can also share that picture by all these means. You can also select multiple pictures just by long pressing them, picture and video alike, and then share them. However, you cannot batch edit them. Next we'll check out the music app, but then before that just check the UI one. So it's arranged as artist, album, songs and playlist. So no folder options. You can also search for a song here, simple, and then let's hear a song. You see, not loud enough speaker output. In fact, quite low. Sound becomes much better now. The bass and treble kind of enhanced. Yeah, so overall, even the music as well as the vocal output via speaker is not loud enough. It's actually pretty low. However, when you have the FX mode on the music player, the sound becomes much better, but still not loud enough. The sound output via the earphones are much better than that of the speaker output, but then they are still not bass heavy. So the multimedia output of this phone is just average. Next we'll check out the 3.2 MP back camera, and it has almost the usual UI that you would see on the typical Jelly Bean ROM. You have your auto mode here. It also takes you to capture panorama, and you can also have a smile detector on. You can have your flash settings here, okay? And then that's how you switch to the front camera. Okay? Let's take some photo. So it takes about 1 second to process the photo, which is quite slow actually. The video also takes about a second to start, but then the frame rate is quite good. But you cannot take stills during video recording. Let's explore some of the options. So you have your exposure scale, and then you have some color options here, sepia, mono and all. You have some scene modes, auto and night mode only. The night mode really bumps up the ISO and shows a lot of noise, by the way. You have your white balance, a lot of settings there. I generally prefer to keep it in auto. Your anti-flicker, and then your face detection, self timer, continuous shot, 40 shot, and then pixel size 3.2 pixels, and then your video size also. Yeah, it's shooting continuously. The FPS is quite good. It's about 6 frames per second, 6.5 frames per second. Yeah, I will save all the 40 pictures. Yeah, so pretty non-pretentious camera UI. The 3.2 MP back camera is fixed focus, even the front camera 1.3 MP front camera. So you cannot separate your subject from the background, and also depth of field is out of question. So you'll mainly use this camera when there are no other options available. You can still upload the images. They are of average quality under enough light. There are no details, but then if you upload those pictures to Facebook, Twitter and other social media site where a small size or a medium size picture is also good enough, then it's good. But no way, you cannot think of taking printouts or so. Under low light shows a lot of noise, and especially if you use the night mode, then it really bumps up the ISO and the noise increases. So I would suggest you can have a little light thanks to the flash, but then I try to have some light. This kind of, and this camera is not made for shooting at low light as well. If you must, then you can use the night mode. At least you would capture the information. The video recording is also average. Again, is fixed focus, so you cannot track your subject or so. But then under enough light, like the stills, it gives a decent quality video recordings, and there is slight fuzziness and softness on the side of the frame, but that's okay, that's expected from this camera. Apart from the necessary apps that I've just shown you, you also have the default Google Android apps like Chrome or your Gmail, and then you also have Maps and YouTube and all those stuffs. You also have some Spice in-house apps like Spice Gang, and there's some other stuff, backup apps and stuff, and then some popular third-party apps as well. For example, Hungama, Opera Mini, OLX, a lot of those. Quick Office is Google's, of course. Yeah, WhatsApp, again another very popular online chat app. Yeah, and you can see it's pretty smooth for daily usage. I didn't feel much lag unless I'm doing heavy multitasking, or I'm trying to suddenly kill a very demanding app, or suddenly come out to the home screen from a very demanding app like a game or something. Yeah, so that's about the UI and performance of the main apps. We tested gameplay on this device. We did not test the big games like your FIFA 14 or Dungeon Hunter or Nova 3 as such, but then we tested the basic games like Fruit Ninja, Temple Run 2 and Beach Buggy, Bleach, and even Dead Trigger 2. The phone could play all these games, albeit with minor hiccups. Now we have prepared a separate video where we've shown you the gameplay totally. You might want to check out that video if you want to see the gameplay performance. So should you get the Mi-360? Now for those people who definitely wants a physical keyboard and they could not come to the Android ecosystem because there are hardly any Android devices with the physical keyboard apart from the age-old Galaxy Chat maybe. So for them there is no question, this is probably one of the rarest phones that are available. It also gives you a good enough screen so that your touchscreen experience also is optimum. So for those people there is no question, you can straight away go for this device. But if you don't mind a full touch phone as well as a physical QWERTY keyboard phone, then you have a lot of competitors, and probably the biggest of them is the Motorola Moto E, which is just 1,000 more expensive than this one at MRP. But then the Moto E comes with Android KitKat, and Moto E also has a very much smoother and faster UI, and performance wise also, given gameplay wise, so that's much more superior. That also has a fixed focus camera, but then a 5MP camera. Even that camera is more powerful, even a multimedia. So almost in every department the Motorola Moto E actually supersedes this phone. But then Spice has made the Mi-360 mainly for those people who wanted the physical keyboard. Now if Spice wanted to make this a full touch keyboard, they probably could have saved on making this part, and they probably could have squeezed in other features as well, and then probably that Spice smartphone would have been almost equivalent to the Moto E. But there's some novelty attached to a physical QWERTY keyboard phone, I guess. So yeah, this phone is mainly and majorly for those who cannot live without a physical keyboard. But then the world largely is moving towards a full touch keyboard ecosystem, apart from probably those BlackBerry kids who still want to use the physical keyboards, the Q10, the Q5 users, and even those bold users. For them, if they ever wanted to migrate to the Android and been holding themselves till now because there were no such devices in the market, you have the Spice Mi-360 now. It's a great device. It's a very cute looking, good looking, playful looking device. The only problem with this device is that the UI lags a bit and the camera is only average. So if you like this video, please hit the like button, ask anything and we'll try to answer them all, and please subscribe to our channel for more such awesome content. Thank you.